What's going on, Alabama fans? Chris Daughtry here, and you're watching the Alabama Football Report. We appreciate you guys joining us for today's show. Alabama was at Bryant-Denny Stadium at Nick Saban Field today for their first fall scrimmage this morning. Got out there about 9:30 a.m. local time. The first and the second team today got about 40 snaps apiece. They got about 102 snaps total, so that third team also got about, 20 snaps or so. Before we get into everything, we're going to break down what Kalen DeBoer said, in that post-practice, post-scrimmage press conference, and some of the photos and rumors out there circulating social media. But if you guys are excited for Alabama football season, we're about 3 weeks away, 21 days pretty much now to the date from Alabama football kicking off this season. We're getting closer and closer in our August-like battle. I think we can do it on this video. If we get about 500 likes, we will beat that August 2023 like number. So make sure you guys like today's video for me right now. I think the most important takeaway that you can get from, the scrimmage, from the press conference, what Kalen DeBoer told us today were there are no injuries. There are a couple guys maybe got beat up just a little bit, but nothing of note, nothing really big. So, I think that's very important that we go out there, we stay healthy in these scrimmages leading up to the season, because the worst thing that could happen, I think, is you go out there for one of these scrimmages and somebody gets hurt. That's not something that you want. But at the same time, this is football. Guys are going to get hurt. So you can't really, hold back. You got to go out there. You got to go full throttle, tackling guys. That's also another thing Kalen DeBoer said. There weren't a ton of missed tackles today. So I think that is very important to note that we got out of the first scrimmage today injury-free. Another thing that Kalen DeBoer really, kind of discussed during the post-practice press conference was there was some good, there was some bad, specific to the quarterbacks. He talked about, there were some throws that, are being made that are throws that need to be made, plays that need to be made. Guys are lining up in the right positions. They're where they need to be. This is exactly what Kalen DeBoer said about, the quarterback play. I consider one of these the positive things. He said, I thought the plays that are there and that need to be, that need to make that throw, I think they're doing that at a higher level, not just today, but throughout camp, getting better at it. A lot of that is just trusting your guys around you that they're going to be where you anticipate them being, especially in those moments when you get a little bit of pressure and you get a little bit of rush around you, and just managing all of that. Look, I think the biggest thing here is making the plays that need to be made. There were a lot of plays last year that Jalen Milroe, I think, guys were open. He just missed them a little bit left, a little bit up, kind of around guys. Those are the plays that Alabama really, specific to Jalen Milroe, that he needs to improve on, those intermediate passes. Because we saw last year, there were just some of those plays that, at the end of the day, are plays that just have to be made because you don't want to get behind the sticks, and you just want to keep working forward and improving as a quarterback, and just getting that timing and everything down as well with those wide receivers, because, Kalen DeBoer said those guys are being accountable. They're lining up in the right spots, and they're, running the right routes, and all that communication needs to be something that, they worked on in the offseason. Jalen Milroe, we saw reports all offseason that he was getting out there with those wide receivers, going through routes, going through plays, working their way down the field. So I think all of that is really starting to pay off as we get closer and closer into this 2024 season. But with the good, there is also a little bit of bad. This is what Kalen DeBoer said about a little bit of the bad going into, or from the spring or the fall scrimmage. He said, I think there are a time or two that you could throw the ball away. I'm not just talking about Jalen. I'm talking about all of them across the board, talking about all the quarterbacks. Just to keep us out of those situations where it turns into a third and extra long or something like that. But that's just here and there. It's not really something that's happening a lot, but it is one of those things that will kill a drive. And Nick Saban talked about it so much last year, right? Those drive killers, taking those sacks, not throwing the ball away when you need to, somebody not making the right read or not making the right or running the right route. Those little things add up, and you cannot start off drives, just drive after drive, being behind the sticks. That's something that, Jalen Milroe in particular, last year, I think he took way too many sacks. It wasn't just all on the offensive line. If your first one or two reads are not there, Jalen Milroe either needs to get rid of the ball or take off with it. I prefer that he takes off with it because we know what he can do with his legs. So just making those good quarterback play decisions, those high-level decisions, throw the ball away or take off with it. Go out there, get a first down or more, because we know Jalen Milroe can be super explosive with his legs as well. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments section. When it comes to sacks, will Alabama give up more sacks this year? Will they have less sacks this year? I think they had about 32, 34 sacks, something along those lines last year. But like I said, it was not all on the offensive line. Some of those sacks were also on Jalen Milroe holding the ball a little bit too long. So get in the comment section for me at the pinned comment of today's video. Type M if you think it's going to be more, or type L if you think it'll be less. Kalen DeBoer also spoke about the versatility when it came to these two running backs, specifically Jam Miller and Justice Haynes. I think both of these guys are going to be amazing for Alabama this year. 1A and 1B for the Crimson Tide. I think specifically for Jam Miller, he's really good out of the backfield. We saw last year, getting a couple catches out of the backfield. Justice Haynes really didn't get any of those opportunities last year, but this is what Kalen DeBoer said about those running backs. He said, but one thing I'll just say about our running backs, they're very versatile. If they maybe don't get those seams as much as they want in the run game, shoot, they're a threat in the pass game as well. I don't care if it's checking out and we sling it out to them in the flat, or it's just really one of those primary route runners that's getting out of the backfield. They're doing just a good job all around. Like I said, we remember last year, Jam Miller caught that touchdown pass against Georgia in the SEC championship game. Justice Haynes, I think one of the things that kept him off the field last year mainly was, the pass blocking wasn't as good. I think this year is going to take a step forward, and I really think he can also, Justice Haynes, can be explosive out of the backfield when it comes to getting in the passing game as well. And you also got somebody like Kendrick Law that you could throw in there, line up in the backfield just to create a ton of havoc for defenses. I really wanted to throw this picture up here too as well of Jam Miller scoring a touchdown in today's scrimmage. Kalen DeBoer said, he had a really good explosive play in the red zone. And I think if you can see it pretty well, this guy right here, he's kind of got like he just made a really good play right there on Keon Sabb, maybe making a little juke move on him or something like that. But it's really exciting to see what these running backs can do for Alabama here going into the 2024 season. Today's show is presented by Game Time. And guys, summertime is starting to kind of wrap up a little bit, but Major League Baseball is still getting into the playoff push here. And the Atlanta Braves, they kind of fell out of the wild card a little bit, but they need our support. And with prices on the Game Time app, they actually go down the closer you get to first pitch. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices. They have views from your seat, so you're not getting blocked out by, just some stupid, foul pole or something in your way. They also have the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. And with Alabama football now 21 days away, you can also get tickets to see the Crimson Tide. You can get tickets right up to the start of the event, even an hour after it starts. So if you want to be in T-Town for that first weekend, you might not have plans to go to the game, and then last minute, bam, you want to go to the game? Game Time can do that for you. They have exclusive deals with sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, comedy, theater, and more. You can even go see Tom Segura at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater the night before Alabama kicks off against Western Kentucky. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Check out GameTime.co for last-minute tickets. Terms do apply, but again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS at CHATSPORTS. Chat Sports for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. One of the biggest stories, I think, coming out of this scrimmage, Ryan Williams getting a long touchdown pass from Jalen Milroe. I think it was Kyle Henderson, the first person putting it out there today. It was a 50-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Milroe. You can see it right here in the pictures that the university put out on social media. Ryan Williams, I mean, man, I don't want to put all these expectations on a kid, especially being a freshman, a kid that reclassified. You know, Nick Saban always talked about those unreasonable expectations that you put on a kid. But man, how is it, it's hard not to put expectations on a kid like Ryan Williams that we know is just super explosive and that can just go out there and be a playmaker, whether that be, on the offense or, in special teams maybe. Maybe we can see him back there, returning punts or something like that for Alabama this year. So I don't know about you guys, man, but I'm so excited to see Ryan Williams. And it makes me think as well, is Ryan Williams going to be a guy that can get out there and, are we going to see him in the first half of that Western Kentucky game? Or, are those other guys, really those veteran leaders, going to be those guys getting those reps and maybe by the time, hopefully cross our fingers that, you get out to a little bit of a lead in the second half. Ryan Williams starts to work in. Is he going to play against possibly Georgia as well? Those are big games against Wisconsin as well on the road. Is he going to be able to play in those games or is he going to be somebody that just, there's too many other guys as well. Alabama's wide receiver room is very explosive. Is he going to be a guy as a freshman, as a younger freshman too, that can stick out and be able to get on the field early in meaningful time? So I want to hear from you guys in the comment section right now. How many Ryan Williams touchdowns do you have predicted for 2024? Like I said, it's very hard not to be very excited about this kid. He's ultra talented. He's ultra explosive. So let me know in the comments section, how many Ryan Williams touchdowns will he have here in 2024? And the last thing before we get out of here on today's show, tomorrow on Sunday, Alabama will be having their fan day. The gates will open at 10:30 a.m. I think they might be going through some little practice stuff with the scrimmage today. I don't expect it to be anything big or anything like that. But there'll also be an autograph session for any Yay Alabama members there. And if you're wondering how to, be a member of Yay Alabama, just go to their website. It's super easy, and it also supports the team and their, NIL collective and everything like that. So very fun day tomorrow on Sunday. You can go out there, meet some of the players and just have a lot of fun in Bryant-Denny Stadium.